Good morning, everybody. Today the other parcel arrived finally from Meyer Archery. This is now the special made asymmetrical Krabby Bow, made for me according to my suggestions. Now let's see what we get. Wow. So what we get first is plastic. Second, interesting. So this is the asymmetrical Krabby Bow, made only for me. In there we have a sticker on the tag. Draw weight is 42, draw length is 28. Nice. So what's the difference now? Nice, now you see everything here. Difference is there's no leather wrapped around it, first of all, so it's only spray painted. The handle is the same. The arrow pass is a little more narrow. And we have a nice decoration on it. Looks really, really good. Thank you very much, Meyer Archery. We have the string pads as we know them from the Krabby Bow before. But this bow is asymmetrical. So what does that mean? This is the normal Krabby. This is the asymmetrical one. So you see when I bring the nocks together, then you see that the handle, you can see that where the arrow pass is. The arrow pass of the normal Krabby is here, and the arrow pass of the asymmetrical one is here. So we have good an inch, I would say, asymmetricality in this bow. Yeah, just joking. So as the rest is the same, we can go very quickly through it. But it's really well made. Thank you, really. Thank you very much. Ta-da, ta-da. We are at, I give it 49 inches again. Max draw length, as I said, is 28 inches. Whoop. Stringing and unstringing. 42 pounds, huh? Ooh. Yeah. The bow like this, you should have a little experience. They're a little tricky to string. Oh, look at this. Awesome. That's really awesome. You can see it. Longer limb, shorter limb. Nice. And handle is gorgeous. That's awesome. Here you have, of course, the bow is very small and the sears are very thin, and the handle compared to it is very thick, but it's simply, it works. So let's see. 42. Oh, nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, you feel it. 28, maybe 29, but safe draw is 28. Only 42 pounds. These arrows, 320 grain. Might be a little too lightweight for it, huh? A little, but as with the other, you still feel it. But hand shock, barely, very good. So what do we have? Stiff, and in this direction, totally stiff. So we have here nice big string, nice string bridges with a big V shape, so the string always finds its way in again. That's nice for the Maltese warrior, huh? Nice. Is it nice? Pretty bow. So one downside, of course, for you, or this bow might not go in production because it was a little tricky to build. But on the other side, I think when he's capable of building it once, and this could be a special limited Armin Hirmer Malta Archery whatever edition, one need to ask him, and then probably they might build it. Brace height is 5.5 inches. Nice. Wow. You feel a little vibration in the handle. Nice. So, of course, working a bit tougher, but could work. Out of the box. And yes, there's Katra built in. 22. It's my first few arrows. Look at this. Down there somewhere. Down there, you see them? Of course, this is always a tricky part here because the middle of the handle is not the middle of the bow anymore. But we get from there. So 28 inches, and we have, yeah, just there at 60 degrees, so that's fine. Now you see the shape, you see the tighter curve here and the wider curve there. Yep, 20 works. Yes, works very good. 30. Oh yeah, look at this. Yep. Do you have anything to say more? Works just perfect. So 42 pounds, 320 grain. 169. 174. 169. 174, okay, quite consistent. 176. Didn't measure, one more time. 169. 177. 181. Quattro string twister. 175. 165, yeah. Every bit of draw. You see, 175, so that's what you get out of it. It's not too bad for a fiberglass bow. And it's a pretty shiny one, look, shiny, shiny. So now again, why is it important for me to have an asymmetrical bow, especially when they are short? This is the normal Krabby Bow, symmetrical, and here you see, here is the arrow rest. So when I put now an arrow on it, then you see what is happening. You see that? You see the amount of string you have left on this side, and you see the huge amount of string you have left on this side. And I didn't even knock now higher than normal, so I would normally knock like this. Then you see this part of the string which is left, and over there this long part. And to compensate for that, so simply keep this photo now in your mind. Then I put my arrow on it. And you see that at least I have 1 inch more string length here, compared to this is still not really shooting through the middle. With a short bow like this, it's quite tough. The arrow pass is 1 inch further down. That's why I have here 1 inch more string. There would be the arrow of the normal Krabby. And there's the arrow of the asymmetrical Krabby, which brings it way more down. See the sears? Knock, knock, same. Krabby, asymmetrical Krabby. So I bring the arrow closer to the string middle, the new handle, I need to say. Feels really solid with this material, not as slippery as this one. This one looks a little better, but it's a little slippery from the old one. But that was version 1. They have now Krabby version 2, which is a bit more flex, like this one. So even the curves look a little different from the real Krabby bow. So this is for me the benefit of having an asymmetrical bow. See, I align now to the 2 handles and the 2 arrow rests, arrow shelves. Then you see my asymmetrical one is on the top way longer and on the bottom a little shorter. And this is what gives you a better performance of the bow. How is it now in direct comparison shooting the normal Krabby? I still feels good. That's the job. Feels good. To the asymmetrical Malta edition. I'm biased now, but I think this one feels a little better, at least for me. The normal Krabby. That's the job. Does a group. Does a nice tight group. Feels good. And my special one. Handle feels more solid, more control. Like that. Oh yeah. I do like this asymmetrical thing. String twist, cutter, center shot. Either you go with your normal Krabby Bow, or you really annoy them and tell them, listen, we want to have this asymmetrical Malta edition, but this will be 50 euros more because of course I should get a bit commission for this idea. I show you now the arrow pass. They both have same brace height. Look. Oops. How do I show it to you? Like this. See? Same brace height. So a wider arrow pass. When it's straight, then you see how the arrow points in this direction away because of this arrow pass, right? Narrow arrow pass, same brace height. You see that? The other one was pointing there, here, and every millimeter here on the shelf counts. So I bring the arrow closer to the center of the bow. And that's why the arrow is not pointing so far off. Helps you with shooting. Of course you can always compensate for that, but especially when you shoot then longer distance, you will see that you really have to compensate a lot with this one. With this one it's way better. You see how much more narrow this is, and this is exactly, in my opinion, the way to go. So Numar Archie calls this the guitar handle, so if you order a bow from him, order it with the guitar handle. Not sure if he will build them, but I think when many enough people ask, look at this bulky one, where the arrow is. See, when I knock here, where the arrow points straight to the camera is the bow, and you see where the arrow is pointing. Straight to the camera, and where the arrow is pointing. Way less, and here every little bit counts. So I like this idea more. Both are nice. I mean, even this leather wrap is nice. But I think it doesn't do a lot. You don't need to protect your fiberglass, so it's simply decoration thing. And that you don't see the wrapping here. Of course, here you see it. Here they wrap the leather around it. I can live with this. The rest, it only adds more weight to it. I have no scale here, but they feel, this one feels a little more heavy because of the bulkier handle, I guess. So what you gain here, you lose here. But the limbs are with less weight and less material, so I guess performance-wise, less weight on the limbs is always better, I guess. This one, I think, deals with the vibration a little better than this one. They're the same. You feel it a little in the handle, but it's fine. But why is asymmetrical interesting? Every bow creates vibration when the string comes forward. And this vibration goes now into this limb and goes now into this limb. When the bow is now symmetrical built, and you shoot every symmetrical built bow asymmetrically. See, this is an asymmetrical built bow, completely balanced, but the arrow is here. So you shoot asymmetrical because it's symmetrical. But what is happening when the vibration comes in here and comes in here? These both vibrations meet exactly here. This is where you hold the bow, and this is where you feel it then. Whereas here, when I hold this one, you see, ooh, I can't even hold it on the handle. The center of the bow, the the weight center of the bow is almost at the arrow pass. So what happens here? Vibration comes in, meets in the middle of the handle, but you hold the bow a little higher. That's why you don't feel the vibration that much. That's a benefit. This is what the Japanese bow builders already knew, because they couldn't get rid of any handchoke in their Yumi broomsticks. When you hold it not where the handle is, you don't feel it that much. Quite smart. So I like both of them. As said, for me the future of fiberglass bows is this bending fiberglass, because you only need to add this part of weight to your limbs, and not like with other bows, the whole sear and the whole kazan until there in wood, which adds a lot of weight. Here you get the fiberglass out to the end, which makes it safe, so you don't have a transition here. Like this one, for example, there you have the whole sear in wood, and the fiberglass comes straight here, and you have it here, the transition. Here it's mounted, here is only wood. So this is always a part where things can go off, whereas here only the last part from here to here is wood, but fiberglass runs to the top. So you're protected, it's more safe, and you have way less weight, as you can see, which causes way less vibration, way less handshock, and gains speed, my opinion. And the draw is more smooth, because it's like this is like a working recurve. When you see this, you see then it bends backwards. This is what you otherwise don't have. Otherwise this is the whole stiff section, and the bending section is only here, which causes here more pressure. So that's why I should hold it in the right way. This way, see? The curve, the bending section is here and not extremely here. We had this in some bows that they really almost like they want to crack here. This one feels really nice. So draw experience is goes up to there, so 29, doable. You see. Yeah, it's doable. Recommend is 28. It does the job, so even 29 is fine. So, but don't tell anyone. When 28-inch draw length is enough for you, or for your horseback, you want something durable, but of course you don't get this one. Only if you ask. You get this one, a really nice bow. Does the job. I said I don't know now the price. I only know that I paid shipping for each of them $59, but because I wanted to have it a bit quicker, you can pay $39. Then they ship to Malta, it's not a problem. And of course customs $30 or something, but I don't know the price of the bow. And for the rest, even the sears are now a little thinner overall, when you see this one. See, sears are now thinner of the new one, a little more fragile. Side profile is the same. Nice. I like this. Of course you see here now the transition from the wood to the limb, which you don't see here because it's nice leather covered. So optically pleasing is this one, I have to admit, but it only adds weight to it for nothing. This one is more bare, more fun to shoot. You don't want to put this bow away, so it's always like, yeah, let me shoot a few more arrows. Nice. See, now we shoot string twist and cut. Oh, this arrow flies so straight. Cool bow, really cool bow. So thank you very much, Numaya Archery, for sending it to me. Tudara, that's it. Here we go. This is the special edition asymmetrical Krabby Bow from Numaya Archery, which is a very interesting and a very nice bow. I like it a lot. Thank you very much for doing this to me. So I really would recommend, when you order a bow from them, order this guitar handle. I hope that they can implement it in all the other bows too. Makes your life so much easier when you save here 3-4 millimeters of thickness. The angle of the arrow is quite different, makes your life easier to shoot. I got used to the other one too, so it's simply a matter of getting used to it. But when you change bows, and it's always, you know, Always need to get used to it again. Really, really nice. Go check it out. And I'll leave the link to the review of the Krabby Bow in the description, so you can check this one out too. Send them some love. Check their website. They have a lot of stuff. They have really a lot of stuff. Boots and swords and stuff. It's really interesting. Check out their website. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.